In this week's episode, we are going to be talking about 3 ways that you can track your mileage as a small business owner. So if you don't have this set up, stay tuned for this episode. On this channel, I help photographers manage and understand their taxes as a small business owner. I help them streamline their systems so that they can spend more time with family and friends. And I also love to give a little sneak peek into my life here and there. But on today's episode, I'm super excited because we are going to be diving in to 3 ways that you can track your mileage for your business. And the reason that that is so important is because we can then use it as a write-off when tax season comes around so that we can get a little bit of a tax break for the amount of money that we spend for our vehicles to get to our sessions and our locations throughout the year. So this is very important. It's not a hard step at all, but something that is super helpful once we have to pay for our taxes. So stay tuned and let's dive into those 3 different ways. Now, the first way is the one that I don't necessarily recommend as your business continues to grow, but is a great way to get started so that you are making sure that you're tracking your mileage right from the beginning. And this way is very simple. It is called the plain and simple paper method. So in this method, all you're going to want to do is make sure that you have a booklet or a notebook or a binder in your car at all times so that anytime you travel for a business purpose, you can track those miles manually. So it is a little bit time consuming because every single drive that you take that's business purpose, you're going to need to write down the odometer reading at the beginning of the trip. You're going to need to write down the odometer reading at the end of that trip. And then also you're going to want to calculate how many miles that is and make sure you write down what day it is on. So that just makes sure that you are proving that you did those miles during this odometer reading on this day, and so that you have it written down and categorized for taxes if for some reason you would have to prove that drive. So you want to just make sure you're doing this every single time, and that includes going to the destination and coming home from it, because that is miles that we're using for our business. So very simple, but a little bit of extra time because you're going to have to do it every single drive that's for your business. Make sure you're writing down those odometer readings, the date, and the total mileage that was used up. Then all you're going to have to do is calculate those totals monthly and then yearly so that you can send them to your accountant and they can input it for the write-off that you can get. That is method 1. Again, a perfect way to get you started, but we really want to streamline your system so that you're not spending extra time having to write that down every single time. So this next 2 methods will help you do that and make it a little bit easier for you. So the second method is actually the way that I use and track my mileage, and the way that I absolutely love. That is is done using an app called Mile IQ. Absolutely love this app. It's very simple. All I did was download it and set it to run in the background, and for iPhones that's always running. And all you have to do is monthly or weekly, just open up the app and categorize your miles. So what is happening is that the app is just running in the background, and anytime that the GPS on your phone picks up that you're traveling, it's going to track the mileage that it took from point A to point B. It's going to write down the date and then have you categorize if it was a personal drive or a business drive. Now, I like to go in weekly just to categorize them. Super simple, makes it very quick, like 5 minutes, and then I'm done with those drives and everything is ready to go. You can also do it monthly, but it'll just take a little bit longer because you'll have longer drives to categorize, and you might have to refresh yourself on where you were going for that drive or what you were doing so that you can correctly categorize if it was personal or business. But the really nice thing is you don't have to remember to turn it on every single drive. You don't have to remember to write down the numbers every single drive. You just go in when you have a moment, either weekly or monthly, categorize them, and then a spreadsheet will be created for you at the end of the year, and it'll calculate all of your personal drives, all of your business drives, and then the total number of drives and miles that you took that year so that you can send that off to your accountant. Very simple. I absolutely love the app. It is so straightforward and just something that I don't have to be constantly worrying about, but I know that it is helping me when tax season comes around for those write-offs. Now, the third and final way that I recommend for tracking your mileage is to use QuickBooks if you already use it. QuickBooks is a software that accountants use to track your income and your expenses, and it's really nice that QuickBooks also has the ability to track your mileage. Same thing as MileIQ, you're just going to want to make sure that it's turned on to automatically track the mileage, and it will just run in the background tracking those miles. Same thing, it'll write down how many miles it was, what day it was on, where you went to, and then all you need to go in is swipe left or right based off of it is a personal drive or a business drive. Very simple. It's also really nice because then your accountant, when they're logging in to look at your income and expenses, they can also quickly look at your mileage as well. And so that is a really nice way to keep it all in one place. But either of those two options are amazing because you're streamlining your systems. You're only needing to worry about it once a week for 5 minutes or monthly for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And then your numbers are ready to go for your accountant at the end of the year. So again, those three ways are either manually doing it, which I recommend when you're just starting out, and then easily switching over to either using the app MileIQ or the software QuickBooks if you already have it set up in your business for other accounting or bookkeeping purposes. Now, if you have any questions, I would absolutely love to help answer them. They are going to be dropped down in the comments below. And also you can grab my quick and easy freebie on all the different categories that are most used and common in your business so that you can categorize the rest of your expenses for when tax season comes around. I hope you found this helpful, and I can't wait to chat with you again next week. See ya!